I'm gonna come and steal your composition.
So it's the second day of being in the Canadian Rockies, and the first thing that I've learned today is snowshoeing is really hard. I'm not built for snowshoeing. So we've snowshoed down to this frozen snow-covered lake and have these beautiful mountain peaks in the background. I'm trying to get to a place where I can find a decent composition. The problem is mobility. Even with snowshoes, I was falling in waist deep because it's just about 6 feet of powder, and apparently I don't have good snowshoeing technique. So the first composition I've found is this small grouping of trees, and I'm putting them directly against the white part of the mountain in the background. It allows those trees to be really isolated. That way they're not overlapping any kind of dark anything, rock or trees in the background. And that kind of makes it work compositionally. The problem is there's just not much for light. We should be getting at least a little bit of light by now, but we have a little bit of a snowstorm rolling in. So it looks like things are going to get pretty obscured pretty fast, unfortunately. Thomas, Gavin, and Adam, they're all kind of that way searching for snowdrifts to use as a foreground element. But what I've been trying to do is try to find a isolated set of trees to, you know, kind of give a little bit of contrast and depth to the shot. Because when you have a flat, snowy background, if you don't have something contrasting in the foreground, it feels very flat and very two-dimensional. And I'm trying to give it at least a sense of three-dimensionality. Problem is I'm a little too far away from these trees and I can't get any closer because I fall in about waist deep. And if I fall, I'm probably going to be like a turtle on its back. I'm not so sure I'll get back up again.
Fellas, I've got a proposition for you.
What?
Found what looks like to be the composition in this white, bleak landscape.
Where at?
150 yards that way, but it's off-piste. So I need you to trail a blaze off-piste.
Piste?
Off the path. Oh. I need you to trail a blaze with your snowshoes.
Trail a blaze.
Trail a blaze. Blaze a trail.
Blaze a trail.
With your snowshoes. And from the path, it's about 50 feet.
Is it worth it?
I haven't been there, but it looks like it's worth it.
Is it just a picture of a tree?
No.
Is it a birch tree in fog?
No, you'll have to come and see for yourself. It's not far, and it's worth it.
Alright.
We'll have to shoot it together because I can't get to it without you guys.
Let's do it.
Alright, let's do it. What's the problem, Mr. Heaton?
The problem is, every time I apply pressure to my feet to try and stand up, I seem to sink deeper into the snow. So I've given up and I'm just lying down. And now, I'm going to trail a blaze. No, they're not. They're going to blaze a trail. Yo! It's only 50 feet. We can do this. There we go. We're on the mission.
Did you hear that? Yeah. Oh! Shit just got real. Oh, this is deep. Gibbs, you've got the longest legs. You should be leading. What?
I'm down!
Need a hand?
Yeah.
Now if I pull up, is that the right direction?
I don't know. I'm recording this.
Brilliant. Okay, like if I pull up you by your straps,
you just.
Oh, that's just going to pull your camera bag off.
Oh.
You see me down?
Wow, that's good. The thing is, you can't put your arms down to get back up again.
Have you ever seen such grace?
after you.
With the elegance and grace of a wounded manatee, carved through the snow.
I'm a better follower than a leader.
Oh yeah. We made it.
Don't we move over a bit?
I think we have to.
So we've made it, barely. Somehow Thomas got up here with no snowshoes, and I was plowing snow like a snowplow. It was not the easiest to get up here, but it was totally worth it. It is a gorgeous scene with all of these little snow-covered trees, and then we have just barely a little bit of stream showing, and it's just enough interest that it really creates a lot of depth in the shot. We've got a little bit of sky interest coming in, and it was so much work to get here. We're gonna wait around for a while. I lost my hat somewhere on the trail. Adam Gibbs took a face plant into the snow, but it was worth it. It's awesome up here.
Take 15 minutes. And what you don't want to do is walk into an area that you think might be good for composition. And then you get there and it's like, oh.
What I'm doing is I'm trying to really do edge patrol on this particular shot, trying to not have any of these trees cropped off awkwardly on the edges of my frame. And I'm trying to zoom in a little bit so the stream that's running through the shot is actually, visible, and it's not just a tiny little speck in the center of the shot. So I'm zoomed into about 24 millimeters and just gonna kind of wait and see what happens with the light. Gorgeous scene. It's starting to snow. Worth it.
I'm just going to copy everything that you just said.
But again, nothing I can do compositionally. We are probably going to come back here when we have better conditions, more colour.
I'm up for it.
Yeah, because this is a great spot. We've stamped out.
So the lights really change. It's starting to get flat. We kind of have some snow starting to fall, and it's obscuring the mountain and obscuring what sky interest that we did have. But this place is cool enough that we're all kind of in agreement that we'd like to come back in good light. So we're hopeful that one of the days that we're up here, we'll get an interesting morning and we can come up here with some different light. Now that we've blazed the trail, it shouldn't be as hard to get to up here, and we've kind of created a little platform. So I think it's time for some breakfast and some coffee. Go find my hat.
So what focus mode do you put it on?
So yesterday didn't quite go as planned. A big snowstorm rolled in and it kind of screwed up our shoot. It was so snowy we couldn't really go out and shoot, plus there was no light. So we just kind of hung out at the hotel and got some dinner and did some editing, but now we're going to be heading out and hopefully getting a second crack at that composition we worked on yesterday morning, and hopefully we'll get some better light. I see some stars, so that's a good sign. We'll see what happens. But first we gotta go get some grub and some breakfast. Today's gonna be a long, tiring day. So we have a bit of a problem. We lost a lot of the snow that was frosting the trees, and the skies are not looking as good as they were back in Lake Louise. So we have a bit of a problem. Not sure that it's worth snowshoeing all the way in there for these conditions.
Just use Skylum to put light beams and I have a special filter, snow filter.
So what are you thinking, Thomas?
Well, I'm thinking it looks identical to yesterday. So for me, I'm not sure if it's worth the efforts and the arduous journey in there.
What do you think, Gavin?
What do you think?
I don't know. Time for a cup of tea.
What? How dare you? A snowball on my teat.
So we're gonna keep an eye on the sky and just see if anything happens, if it opens up, and then we'll get back out there and have a second shot at it. Motherfuckers!
Plans always seem to change. The light was just not happening again. It was just too similar. So I've driven down to a place called Saskatchewan Crossing, and we're gonna go down to the water level, and there's a frozen river that should be pretty cool. So what I've done is I've come down to this river, the frozen river, and I'm finding just little areas where the ice is doing interesting things around some of the rocks on the edge of this ice. Ice is kind of mushy and rotten feeling, so I'm trying to be really careful. It's probably dumb of me to be out here, but it should be pretty shallow right here just in case. So I'm doing another focus stack, doing an exposure for the sky as well, so it's a exposure blend focus stack. To do that, I take one shot focused on my foreground, I focus a little deeper into the shot, take another frame, take one focused on the mountain in the background and infinity, take that shot. These are all with that brighter exposure. Now I'm going to darken down the frame about 2 stops and take one more shot just for my sky. That way I'm maintaining all those really bright highlights in those clouds. Really dramatic light happening over here. But what's exciting is this mountain peak should be catching light before too long. So I know Gavin has already went that way, and he's really betting on that alpine glow that's going to happen on these mountains this way. But I'm greedy. I want to get this shot first and then go over and steal Gavin's shot. So why only get one shot when you can get 2? When you can get 2, right? So we're getting that alpine glow like I mentioned, and now it's time to head over. Whew. It's time to walk carefully over that way, see if we can find a composition. Now we're getting this awesome dappled light, this dappled alpine glow on this mountain, and it's just, this is the kind of light you're always looking for, because I always describe it as nature's dodging and burning, where it's adding little spotlights of light and interest onto the mountain in the background. It really kind of simplifies the background rather than all of the mountains getting hit with light equally. I love it when just a couple of them are getting light. It really draws attention to a couple of the peaks. I am so glad that we drove further, because the light was looking terrible and now the light is just incredible in every direction. This is a target-rich environment for sure. I love these mornings. If Adam Gibbs is happy, it must be good, because it takes a lot to make that guy happy. Old grump. Like since losing the iconic hat.
That's gone. That's in Iceland somewhere by a waterfall. I expect.
You really need to find like a new hat that can really be the thing, you know? And so I feel like I found something that's going to be a good fit for your look. It'd be rude not to try it on.
The whiplash.
It's so warm now, right?
Now we can call it shithead.
You happy now? I'm going to put this in your video. Thousands of people to see.
It could potentially be the new look.
It could be. I quite like it.
I mean, people will remember.
It would look better in snow, though, if you're out in the snow.
So it's my final morning here in the Canadian Rockies. What a way to cap it off. We got this beautiful, beautiful alpine glow happening on Mount Chevron? I'm not sure the name of it. When we first got here, there were some high wispy clouds. Those have quickly lost their color, but we're gonna be left with this beautiful alpine glow and nice deep blue skies. And I love the contrast of the warm on the cool. It's gonna be really great. So for foreground, there wasn't really much, and I think Thomas and Gavin, they've kind of resorted to just using some ice, but I actually found this cool little old piece of driftwood or an old stump poking out of the snow, and it makes for a nice contrast against that snow. It's just enough of a foreground to kind of anchor the image and to give this beautiful, impressive mountain some other interest other than just that. So I'm doing a 2-shot focus stack at f11, and that should give me enough depth of field. Can't wait to see this one big on the computer. Such an impressive scene. This trip to the Canadian Rockies has been a ton of fun, mostly because I'm hanging out with such cool people. Gavin, Thomas, and Adam, they're such fun guys to hang out with. No regrets about making the trip up here. This morning, the thermometer got down to 13 below 0 Fahrenheit. As we're driving out here. Here, where we're at, it's about 10 below 0. I started off wearing a face mask when we hustled out here because we were late. Now I've got a beard full of frozen condensed breath. So there's that. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like this stuff. Here are the photos that we got this week, and we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, everybody.